One of the things we deal with very intentionally in my coaching program, Confidence Through the Power of Personal Style, is how to create an environment, both in your dressing area as well as in your life, that is uplifting and positive and optimistic and inspiring. And I have a lot of clients who ask on a regular basis, how do I say no to people that I don't want to disappoint, or that I don't, and how do I make sure that I have the right people in my life? And so this is a very, very important topic, because style is a mindset. It's not limited to what you wear. That's a very important part of it. But style is how you treat people. It's how you stand. It's your posture. It's your stance. It's your eye contact. It's your smile. It's how you tilt your head as you're speaking or listening. Style is a mindset, and everything happens from here. Everything in life is here, as you know. If you are connected and dominated by your past, then you'll be acting in a certain way and dressing a certain way. If you are living out of your mind and your creativity and your future and your goals and your dreams, you'll be a very different person, and you'll have a very different impact on the world. So I wrote down a few characteristics of when I teach my clients how to choose the right items of clothing, how to put them together, how to use them and wear them, quality over quantity, and so on. I wrote down some of the characteristics of how you should go about making sure that the people you do life with, family, friends, colleagues, associates, lovers, whoever that is for you, then there are some very common denominators. And this list that I started writing out became a longer list, and eventually I spent a good 20, 30 minutes on it this morning, just thinking about what are the things that I look for? What are the things that draw me to people? Because your environment is so important. You are a reflection of the people that you hang out with. You are judged by the people that you hang out with. And if you are the leader of your pack, you're the kingpin, well, then you're just stunting your growth. Then you are limiting your creativity, your influence, your income, your everything. Because you want to surround yourself with people who are faster, better, stronger, more successful, wiser than you. Why? It's going to benefit you. You're going to learn. You're going to grow. You're going to go, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. That's awesome. How do you do that? That's the environment that you want to be in. And it takes humility to be that environment. All you need is ego to be the big fish in a small pond. But it takes humility to constantly be surrounded by those who are better than you. But guess what? The rewards are endless. The results are incredible. You will be faster, better, stronger. So you need birds of a feather flock together. You have to find your people, whether you call it your tribe or your vibe or whatever. It's actually a very serious thing. You know, some people say, oh, that's not my jam, or that's my tribe. Or, really? You're in 17, 20, 30 different Facebook groups or Instagram little communities, and they're all your tribe, all of those collective 10,000 people together, really? Your time is your most valuable asset, your most precious gift. We don't know how much we have. If you are a procrastinator, it just means you've got too much time on your hands. If you are a perfectionist, by the way, it means you've got too much time on your hands. I'm going to say that again. I said this to my clients in our coaching call 2 days ago. If you are a perfectionist, it means you've got too much time on your hands. Why? Because perfectionism kills action. I am an actionism activator. Like if there's one thing that I can say of how I do what I do, or how I get to where I'm going, it's action. Prayer is powerful and essential, but faith without action is dead. It's dead. It says so in the scriptures. Action is the change agent. And perfectionism doesn't allow action until it's perfect. And then how do you know it's perfect? The goal line always moves. I used to be a perfectionist years ago. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Perfectionism kills. This is probably about 10, maybe up to 9 years ago. Things needed to be right. I would still take a lot of action and take risks and do things, but perfectionism held me back. I could feel it in my spirit. Never mind looking at the time that I lose. So if you're a perfectionist, you have too much time on your hands. It's a fact. What do you do stop being a perfectionist. Stop saying I'm working on the perfectionist in me, or I have a perfectionist habit, so just stop calling yourself a perfectionist. Use the words of life that you want to breathe life into and go that way. Anyway, back to the point here. Back to cultivating a beautiful closet and cultivating a beautiful environment of people. I'm just going to run through. You might want to grab your pen and paper. You might want to hit pause right now, because I'm going to give you some things that over the years that I have learned from doing it the wrong way and learning the hard way and doing it the right way that serves me well and serves those around me well. And through, from 27, so for the last 23 years, since the age of 27, I have been reading, studying, conferencing, working with coaches, mentors, doing counseling, social training at church, like you name it. If it's there, like I want to learn, like, because I had to break free from the chains that were binding me. I come from a very abusive past, and I just didn't know what else to do. So practically, with action, I climbed into lots of things. And I've learned some stuff over the years, and I still learn from those around me. We have people like Andy Frizella and Ed Milet. I mean, the list goes on. Simon Sinek. We've got people, Brene Brown, around us who are phenomenal, who have gone before us, blazed the trail, and shared their wisdom. We always stand on the shoulders of giants of those who've gone before us. We have a responsibility to blaze the trail and to pass on to those behind us and to make a way for them, not just your children. You are not a man on an island. Whether you are unmarried with no kids and no friends, you are still connected to me. You and I are connected. Doesn't matter where you are listening in or watching this from in the world. We're all connected. That's why I teach dress to connect, not dress to impress, not dress for success, dress to connect. Fashion is a powerful connector. Anyway, let me stay on topic. So you've got your pen and paper. I'm going to just run through a few things that in 50 years, I have learned. The people that I spend time with, I very carefully choose. And I only have 3 or 4 people in my very close inner circle. That's excluding my husband and my 2 children and my mom and a few people. We all have families that maybe we don't get along with, and you think they're crazy and they drive you nuts. You probably drive them nuts. I probably drive the people in my family nuts, the ones that I'm like, oh, we're going to have dinner together. So nobody's right and wrong. We're all just different. And when I say cultivate a specific environment, it doesn't mean you can't love the people that you shouldn't do life with. You love them, you honor them. You're not above them. You're not better than them. And they're not above you or better than you. It's just we have different preferences, different goals, and different aspirations. But you have to be so intentional about that beautiful wardrobe that when you wear it on the outside, it communicates who you are on the inside. And you've got to be so intentional about the people that you do life with. And one of the most important things for women to learn is to say no. Unless you're a people pleaser, you are going to say no when you can't do something, when you don't want to do something, or you are overcommitted. Because people pleasers don't like to disappoint so-and-so. Why? Because then worried that she's going to get annoyed with me. Why? Because I want her to like me. Why? What's so special about you that everybody must like you all the time? I am speaking from experience. That is a lack of identity. That is a lack of self-confidence. That is a lack of self-esteem. If you need people to like you and you are upset if people are disappointed with you, you're lacking in your identity, in your grounding, the very foundation that you stand upon. What do you believe in? That's another conversation for another time. So I have a list here. I'm just going to read through to you the things that I wrote down this morning. This is a combination of my personal experiences, things that I put people into my ears, and I surround myself with people who have similar aspirations because I do not allow any negativity in my life. Think about it. You don't have to go very far at all to hear how the world has gone crazy and how it's doom and gloom and, oh my gosh, politics and pandemics and economics and other It hasn't just gone crazy recently. Evil and wicked is not a new thing. Have you heard of the Holocaust? Have you heard of World War I and World War II? There's always, since the dawn of humankind, being good and evil. The beauty and the beast. There'll always be the good and the bad. Always. It's just a natural and a supernatural law. But what you focus on is important. Are you the naysayer that's always saying, oh my gosh, did you see so-and-so? Oh my gosh, did you, the Queen died and, this and all this bad news. Or is it like the Queen died and have you got something good to say? You haven't walked a day in her shoes. Did you have a strong opinion? That's just one example. There's a lot of good out there. There's a lot of abundance out there. There's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of opportunities out there. A lot of businesses get birthed in bad times, in times of recession. So let's get back to the point. This is partly how I teach my clients on how to choose good clothing that are of a high standard, that are accessible, that will last the long haul, that have longevity. Some of these include, you want to obviously quality over quantity. I am not a thrift store shopper advocate because the thrift store was not designed for you. You're shopping at Nordstrom Rack and at the thrift store, which means you are part of the big fast fashion problem that's been around for a long time. And you are someone whose closet is full of clothing and you say, I've got nothing to wear. So you need to look back response to the tacky tracky or the yoga pants and the favorite t-shirt and your cute little outfit that is the same. Why? Because you've got a closet full of clothes, sometimes 3 closets full of clothes. And too much option, too much complexity, too much in front of us is too much. It's overwhelming. And we go, oh, I'm just going to wear what I normally wear. So thrift store shopping doesn't mean once or twice a year. You can't go in and find that gorgeous little black dress or a beautiful velvet blazer and you get it for $12. There's nothing wrong with that. Once or twice a year, not as a habit. If you're buying 50 pieces for $27, you have a problem in your closet. A cluttered closet is a cluttered mind. So quality over quantity. What else? Same applies to people. High quality, less quantity. You only have a certain number of hours in a day. You can't have 25 best friends. I don't believe in that. You also want in your clothing professional, respectful, stylish, and excellent. Same with people. They're professional, they're respectful, they are stylish, because excellent people with the spirit of excellence are going to get up, dress up, put their best foot forward. They're going to make an effort. They have a certain pride in themselves. They honor themselves and those around them by dressing well. They're not sloppy and lazy. That's what you're looking for. You want longevity. You want to build and invest in this relationship and in this wardrobe for the long haul, because that saves you time, saves you money, makes you a smarter, more savvy shopper and dresser and person. You want your clothes and your people that you do life with to lift you up when they are around, when you're wearing it or they're around. You want to be lifted up. You want to feel inspired. You want to feel motivated. You want to feel optimistic and positive. You want to feel excited about putting a beautiful outfit on, like this blouse, this beautiful silk blouse that I bought at a beautiful little boutique in South Africa, in Franschhoek, down the road from me. It inspires me. And it even made me do my hair differently this morning. My hair was all done. I put this on. I'm like, I need to switch it up. So I did. So you want to be moved by the people in your life. You want to be inspired by them. What are they doing that inspires you? And you want to be around people that are always bringing some kind of value. Your clothes bring value. If you put this on with a blazer and some nice, smart bootleg pants and some heels and you go to a business meeting, this is bringing value. It's positioning you for the meeting that you've got coming up. But here is the rest of the list of what I would say. If you need to get rid of some people in your life who are bringing crises, drama, and toxicity and negativity, only you can do that. You can only do that if you are prepared to stop bowing down to man and bow down to your creator who created you. You can't do both. It's so important. You can't do both. Fear of man, fear of judgment, fear of disappointing them, or fear and love of your creator. You get to choose. As you know my saying, every day is Tuesday. So here comes the list. What you look for in people that you want to do life with. Productive, happy people with a sense of emotional well-being and some kind of stability. So a sense of, it doesn't mean that they don't get upset, doesn't mean they don't have passionate, emotional, fiery, intense personalities. I do. But there must be a sense of emotional well-being. They know who they are. They know where they're going. They have a vision and they have a mission. A man without a vision will perish, it says in the scriptures. What is their vision? What are they going after? What do they do? What is their goal? What are they looking forward to? What gets them out of bed in the morning? This is a really important one. They make rational decisions versus always being embroiled in some emotional crisis that makes them just spontaneously and irrationally change something up, or move town, or move house, or change their career, or change lovers. Or you want someone who makes decisions rationally. Do we sometimes make the wrong decisions? Yes, it's part of life. You sometimes have to get it wrong before you get it right. But you want someone who's not just always in crisis mode, and you know who they are. You want someone with a real spirit of humility. This is not the same thing as shy. Shy is a lie. I really firmly believe that. And I'll tell you why if you want to ask me sometime. But you want someone who has got powerful humility. It is one of the secrets of success. Humility is a powerful weapon. It even talks about the cloak of humility in the scriptures. Yes, it does. You want someone who's compassionate and cares about others, someone who's involved in community. This is a really good sign that this person has got a good heart, because someone can walk a good talk, but until they actually walk it out on a daily, regular basis over the months and years where you're going to be investing time with them, how do you know? See what they do. Look at what they're doing out there in the world. What are they doing to help others? Or is it just all about their success? You want happy people. I was listening to Ed Mallett this morning, I really highly encourage you to get his book, One More, or The Power of One More. You can listen to it on Audible, or you can read it, The Power of One More by Ed Mylett. And he was saying, happy people operate out of imagination and dreams, not their past. That is so, I mean, we know this, but he just said it in such a succinct way. So if you are stuck in your past, you haven't done the grief recovery, you haven't dealt with your shit, you haven't put the work in, you are going to be living from your past. It's like having a car that you're driving in, trying to get forward, but you are looking in your rearview mirror all the time and you're stopping all the time to pull over and check all the luggage and the baggage that's in the back because it keeps falling out because you haven't dealt with it. You haven't offloaded it. You can't go forward. You can't look forward. You can't get excited about the destination. You're so heavy, weight back heavy at the back of your car. So it doesn't work. So you have to deal with your shit, put the work in. Anything that's happened to you that is painful or traumatic, I know what I'm talking about here. You have to dig it up. You have to work it out, get it out the way in order to move forward confidently and beautifully. The people you want in your life have a coach or several coaches. This shows a teachable mind and a teachable heart, and it shows that they are prepared to be held accountable to someone and that they're not being have their ears tickled and being told how amazing they are all the time. And they need you to stroke their ego. If someone doesn't have a coach, I caution you to build a strong friendship there. Maybe there is I'm not saying there's an opportunity for you to inspire them to do that, but everybody who is teachable, who's going somewhere of value, is held accountable by somebody who is pushing them to get there because they have a spirit of excellence and they allow their butt to be kicked from time to time to move them forward. So because accountability is powerful. Look for people who do regular personal development and business professional development. This is a very important one. And I tell you what, I can't even tell you, this one just kills me. Like, I'm like, wow, it like never ceases to amaze me. You want to do life with people who are willing to communicate their needs, their concerns, and are willing to have the tough conversations with you. If they're not willing to do that early on, let that relationship go, whether it's a romantic relationship, a business one, or a personal one. Why? Most especially when it comes to Christians. Most especially, they're waving the Jesus flag, and I'm a woman who believes in Yeshua and his Father. But if you come in waving your Jesus flag, and it's all love, and he says this, and let's do this together, and the first thing that goes wrong, they'll be like, I'd rather not talk about that, or I have nothing to say. Really? Really? That's not scriptural. A lot of women and men, but a lot of women are not willing to have the tough conversations. The best relationships in my life are those that I have had some of the most tearful, intense, uncomfortable conversations in. That's what a good relationship takes. It is hard work, but it's worth the payoff. So if you're doing life or business with someone who is, it's all good, it's all fine all the time, and doesn't tell you that there's a problem, doesn't tell you when something's gone wrong, doesn't tell you when they feel hurt by something, watch out. The big bust is coming. They're lacking in commitment because they don't want to do the hard work and have the conversation with you. Watch out, move on, cut away while you can. They welcome, so people who have coaches, they welcome the butt kick. They're not the leader of their pack. They surround themselves with greater and stronger. Unfulfilled people, on the other hand, play the blame game. Oh my gosh, they can blame, they've got something to blame on every single day. Either the government or their boss, which is an easy one, or my work life, or the politics, or the pandemic, or there's a recession that's coming, or like I just couldn't get there today because the weather, which was like icy cold there, or something. They're really good at the blame. They win at the blame game. And that is indicative of a victim mindset. Because guess who is in the middle, the common denominator of all of those problems they keep having? They are. So if you find yourself blaming anyone or anything at any time, you're a victim. You're stuck in what happened to you in the past that hurt you, and you haven't dealt with your shit, and you haven't moved forward, and you won't move forward until you deal with it. You will commit, and then you'll quit. You've got to write that down. You will commit to people, things, opportunities, major opportunities, but then you'll quit. Because victims do not become victors. Victims do not succeed. Victims are stuck in their victimhood. Victims lack identity. Victims lack courage. Why? I used to be one. I've had a traumatic past. I didn't know I was a victim until I was like 27 years old. I was like, someone told me, a very good friend of mine. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, that's not possible. He's like, yep, He said, like, and he told me how. I'm like, I got to do something about it. I was strong, confident, ambitious, but I had a victim mentality, and I went to work on that. These people who you don't want to hang around with are highly sensitive. The blamers and victims are highly sensitive. Everything is always about them. They're very defensive, and there's always lots of drama, and there's always a crisis. They are exhausting to be around. Exhausting. I used to be that. If you said something, I was like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know. I was so deeply rooted in my pain. I couldn't see beyond my own pain until the day came where my desire to be free was greater than any pain that was ever inflicted upon me. It's a game changer. They're exhausting to be around. They're bound in their past experiences. Unhappy people are unstable and unreliable. Do not employ them, do not befriend them, and do not spend a lot of time with them. It doesn't mean you can't help them. It doesn't mean you can't encourage them. I'm talking about your inner circle. I'm talking about your people. I'm talking about where you're spending lots of your time. Your time is so key. They play the blame game. They're not teachable. They will say that they are, but the minute that a difference comes up, or they'll fight and they'll quit and they'll get up and they'll walk out without a moment's notice. They will cut you off. The friendship will end and the job will be just resigned, and they walk out the front door without even as much as a conversation. No professional courtesy, no commitment to what they said they were going to do. It's just a physical, I'm out of here. Cut loose from those people. They're unstable, they're unreliable. They're going to cost you a lot of money, a lot of heartache, and a lot of time. If you keep talking, if that's you, if you keep talking about your past event, like if you keep talking about this thing that happened to you, and like, if your identity is wrapped up in that pain that was in the back, then you are stuck in unforgiveness. You need to write down, who do I need to forgive? Including yourself. Including yourself. I started reading about and learning about forgiveness when I was 27 years old, and I was a very, very, very hurt, angry young woman. I didn't like forgiveness, but how do I do that? How do I forgive him and him and him and her for all that they did to me? Physically, sexually, emotionally, how do I do that? Spiritually, where do I even start? I can tell you my story in the past. That doesn't define me, but it's part of me. I am grateful for my past, but I don't dwell there. I don't live there. I am future focused. I have ideas and dreams and imagination for the future. 100 times a day, I wake up in the night and I have to write something down. I am so future focused. I'm grateful for my past. It's made me who I am. Passionate, compassionate, empathetic, tenacious, unwavering, non-negotiable, committed to my vision, to my mission. Because of my past, it fuels me. But it's not who I am. My identity is daughter. My identity is daughter. That's who I am. You cannot be stuck to your past with unforgiveness in your heart. You will not move forward and you will not live the life that you can live. So they commit, then they quit. And you can love them, you can encourage them, but do not get sucked in. Oh my gosh, the number of times I've done this over years. Do not get sucked into their drama. They will dry you up like a dry bone, and they'll walk on to the next person. They will suck you dry. And you'll just go, you'll be left shocked and amazed and dazed, and it'll happen again. So use your past to strengthen you. You must choose. Every day is Tuesday. You must choose. Am I going to choose life, or am I going to choose death? Am I going to choose to let this thing or these things that happen to me determine who I am and how I speak? And a lot of people, their pain is their identity. Either they have had a physical ailment for a long time, or they are in a relationship and they are the abused one. I mean, this is basic psychology 101. Or there's just always someone to blame. Or they're the wife of someone who's been victimized and traumatized, and that's who they are. That's not who they are. His pain is not her identity. She needs to find her own identity. She needs to be her own strong. What would she be if she weren't married to him who went through all of this trauma? Who is she? That would be interesting. She's life. Walk through it. Overcome. Get grief recovery. If you have a question in that, send an email to my office, support@LindaPaige.com. I will refer you to someone very trustworthy. Be dominated by your future, not by your past. Stop saying, Christian woman, I can do all things through Christ, and then you don't. Stop quoting scripture and you don't back it up with action. Don't be that woman. It's untrustworthy, and you have a reputation for it. People will know you. People know you by your fruit. The fruit doesn't lie. Like numbers don't lie. The fruit doesn't lie. Don't be someone who picks up your Bible and quotes out of there, knows scriptures back to front. Yet you are stuck in your past. You are resentful. You're single and you don't want to be. You hang out with the same people. You don't get uncomfortable. You don't get into coaching and get your butt kicked and be accountable and do the hard yards and have the hard conversations, but just quoting out of scripture. That's not who you are. It's not what you're called to do. I have a client by the name of Kate, beautiful new client, powerhouse, gorgeous, amazing, beautiful personality. And in the beginning, when I first started coaching with her, I'm like, this woman's either going to go one of two ways. She's resisting the change that she has paid for through me. And either it's going to be short and she's going to do it and she's going to move on and not get many results, or she's going to open her mind and open her heart, strong character, and she's going to make changes that are going to boost her, that are going to bring amazing results her way. And the latter happened. I love working with her. She's almost completed the program, and the things that she's coming out with and the outfit she's putting together, the things that she's trying that make her uncomfortable. I'm like, I love working with women like that. So there's a few other things here, but at the end of the day, and there are books in my program, by the way, lots of books that, of all the books that I've read, there probably are going to be, I'd say 4 or 5 on one hand that I will say were life-changing for me. Now, they might not be life-changing for you, but there's things like Turkeys and Eagles. There's Dr. Wayne Dyer that I used to do a lot of reading around on forgiveness years ago. There is a book called Abba's Child by Brennan Manning that a beautiful friend by the name of Isa brought into my life some years ago. That had a radical impact on me. And there's a few others. Those are all in my coaching program. But at the end of the day, my friend, if you believe that you were created in his image, if you believe something different, thank you for bearing with me for a minute. We have different beliefs, and that's great. Thank God we're not all the same. If you believe you were created in his image, it means by nature you are creative. It also means that you have been given the gift and the power to create your own future. You are the only species on the planet that can create your own future. What have you created? Or have you allowed your past to dominate you like a force without a face that determines how you dress, how you speak, and who you hang out with, and who you've married, or who you want to marry, and what you do for a living, and how you raise your children, and how you bring your baggage onto them? You have the gift of creating a whole future. You can change it today and decide, I want to be a professional singer. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but that's my dream, and I'm going to go for it. And you set about just finding the steps and the actions and the tools. It's possible. Don't be a woman who says all things are possible through Christ who strengthens me, and then you don't go after what you really want to go after. In my program, Confidence Through the Power of Personal Style, at the core, at the heart of that coaching program is that I help you to fall in love with the woman in the mirror. Possible? Yes. How do I know? Because how did I go from hating, and I mean truly hating what I saw in the mirror? I was raised by different people. All of them did the best that they could. I have an incredible mom. My late great dad was an awesome guy. I met him when I was 27 years old. And there's a bunch of other people who are doing their best in between. I've been through a lot of stuff. I was called ugly duckling. I was called little devil. I was told, never become a mother. You'll be a terrible mother. One of the most hurtful things that I've ever been told, never have children, and you'll be a terrible mother. Wow. Why would you say something like that to someone who was like, I was what? I think I was 20 years old. You are the creator of your life through the gift that your creator gave you. I went from hating what I saw in the mirror to I got to a point in my early 40s, almost 10 years ago, 8 years ago maybe, and I decided no more. I'm not going to criticize myself anymore. I'm not going to condemn my body. I'm not going to complain about what I have. I want to become my biggest cheerleader. I want to go from critic to advocate, from critic to cheerleader. And I got on my knees and I asked God, and he showed me stuff. And fast forward, here we are. Confidence through the power of personal style. I love what I see in the mirror. I'm for her. I love her. I love my body through all different kinds of shapes and sizes. I love who I am. I know who I am. I know who I am. It's changed how I dress. It's changed how I do life, who I hang out with. Yes, of course, I have problems and challenges just like you. Nothing is perfect. No one's life. Again, this is not a show reel. There's a real reel. I've been on camera many times showing my tummy and my back because people say, oh, you're so small. Really? Let me show you what's underneath. And they literally go, oh, actually, every time, 20 times I've done it in the last couple of days, oh, they go back. I just know lines and angles. I call it fashion math. I know my body, and I love my body, and I highlight my best bits, and I kind of float over the rest. Style is just a skill. Whatever it is that you want to learn. If you're interested in learning how to get up, dress up, be that bold light on a hill that you know you are called to be, how to build a beautiful wardrobe on a budget that is customized to your body, your personality, your lifestyle, your profession, your goals and dreams. How to have a simple and systemized get up, dress up routine that inspires you and excites you. How to learn how to dress to connect. Learning how to use fashion as a powerful connector. Then you want to go to www.LindaPaige.com. Watch the video and book a free consultation with my office, during which somebody is going to ask you a few questions to explore whether or not you and I have any common ground, whether or not that which I teach has anything of value in what you want to pursue in life, the life you want to live, the goals you want to go for. Whether or not your status quo is frumpy, frustrated, I hate shopping, I've got no time, it costs too much money, it's too expensive, I'm single and I don't know how to meet the right guy, I'm attracting all the wrong people, I'm divorced now, and I'm in a season of loneliness, I just don't know how to go forward. I've just found my husband cheating for the last 3 years, and I'm just devastated, and all he told me is because I'm fat, and all of those things, all of those problems. If you want to move from that status quo to a confident, bold, beautiful tomorrow, you go right now to LindaPaige.com. Take action. Make the decision. Choose because it's Tuesday. Commit to watching the video. Commit to booking a call. Don't you book a phone call if you're curious. Don't you like, I want to see what this is about. If you are serious, like I was, about I want this life that I know that he has given me the power and the ability to live. I know that there's more. I know that I'm doing something wrong. I know I'm just missing a recipe. Where is it? How can I find it? I did that for myself. He showed me, and which is why I do what I do today. Then today, you will go to LindaPaige.com. You will watch the video. You'll book a call. And let's get serious. Let me help you. I cry with my clients on a regular basis. Let me help you to fall in love with the woman in the mirror. She is worthy. She is you. And you are called to rise and shine. Imagine what kinds of things you and I could do together. Imagine you have the gift of imagination. You have the gift of creation. It's Tuesday. What will you do?